watching Sterling High School Channel 19, serving Pinella, Laurel Springs, Magnolia, Summerdale, and Stratford. Mobile television production facilities for this broadcast are made possible by a grant from Walmart. Walmart, with their location on the Whitehorse Pike in Summerdale.
And welcome back as we present you as Sterling basketball, as the Lady Knights take on the West Deptford Eagles. And here, Sterling are 8-5, 4-1 in their division, and West Deptford are 10-5 and 2-3 in their division. And as we meet the Sterling players.
Tanya Berry, senior, Yellen Middle School, Pinella, New Jersey.
Marley Sire, senior, Yellen School, Stratford.
Leilani Franklin, junior, Good Shepherd School, Collingswood.
Nia Holloway, junior, Alice Costello, Brookline.
Tatiana Johnson, junior, Magnolia Public, Magnolia.
Raina Polkak, sophomore, Yellen School, Stratford, New Jersey.
Tori Wilsey, sophomore, Yellen School, Stratford.
Kayla Franklin, sophomore, Good Shepherd School, Collingswood.
Jasmine Johnson, sophomore, Magnolia Public, Magnolia.
Yesenia Johnson, sophomore, Magnolia Public, Magnolia.
Take a look at the standings right now. Haddonfield, 5-0. And Sterling, 8-5, second in the division. Again, West Deptford Eagles. Overall records, pretty good for overall records. Again, Sterling second with their 4-1 divisional lead. And we are here to welcome Strauss and Schultz.
You look at these standings and you see Sterling not in a position where they're used to. They're used to being on the top of this Colonial Liberty. And they're struggling a little bit here early on. They hit a little rough patch. They've lost 4 of their last 5. As you look at the matchup between these two teams, this, Schulze, could really determine, this could be a little changing of the guard here between second and third place.
Yeah, it really could. I know a couple of the games they didn't have Latanya Barry and Marley Sire, and that's a big difference maker. Obviously, that's the area where Sterling has the big advantage against most of the teams in the division. You look at them at 8-5, Latanya Barry 13 points a game, and we're about to start.
Might notice a jersey change tonight on Jasmine Johnson, wearing number 24 in honor of Kobe Bryant. And that, I mean, we're going to talk about that quite a bit throughout the broadcast. But well, what a tragic event yesterday out in California for the Bryant family and the rest of the families that are affected by that horrific helicopter crash.
You just still can't believe it. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
I'm on 2. Three on the way is no good. And Carino will bring it up to junior, working against Nia Holloway. And a nice drive baseline, looking down low for the sophomore, Olivia McGee. And the game's first bucket right into the hands of Liza Laxton, the senior.
Got her loose on the baseline.
McDonald for 2. .6:30 remaining here in the first. Sterling looking to again break a losing streak, 4 out of 5 games here in this middle of the season as we hit practically to February. You start talking about February, you start talking about playoff positioning probably coming up the next couple weeks.
Yeah, they were cruising till that point, and there's a nice play by Marley Side. Like I said, that's where Sterling has the advantage down on the low post.
McDonald was open momentarily, being guarded closely there by Johnson. Good defense. Talk about the rivalry here between these two schools over the sports. Kind of a very much a lopsided rivalry here. Sterling has not lost to West Deptford in 17 years.
Wow. And there you see a nice bounce pass from Holloway to Sire. And West Deptford obviously is very good in a lot of sports, but this is one sport where they're okay, but they're not as dominant. We talked about dominance. There's Latanya Barry with the block.
Lane was open for a moment and then closed as good defense by Latanya Barry. All knotted up at 4. Here at Sterling High School, a little surprise broadcast. This one was not on our original schedule, but nonetheless, picked up the second game of this coach's invitational. Barry, far side. Marley Sire, all Sterling's 4 points. Barry down low all day.
Yeah, and they're alternating Marley Sire up high, Barry down low, and a good pass from Sire to Barry as we look at here on the replay, seeing her and just getting it down low. When you get the ball down there to Latanya Barry, she's going to make it count.
And again, we get back to these two teams. Sterling sitting at second to Colonial Liberty at 8-5, and very similar offense and defense per games between these two squads, so it should make for a pretty interesting night here. Sterling jumped out to a 4-0 lead, but West Deptford jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Now it's all Sterling.
Yeah, it really has been, and again, they've had an advantage in going down to the low post, and you look at the team history. Sterling at 276 and 94 overall, West Deptford at 165, 74 in the league, 167 and 34. West Deptford 83 and 114. Sterling, the home and away, is 124 and 30, and West Deptford at 59 and 75. Sterling's won 37 straight, as you had said, Rob, against West Deptford. Teams played January 6th. Sterling won 43-35. Barry had 19 points. McDonald, the leading scorer for West Deptford, had 18 points in that game. Eric McDonald, remember him from Gloucester. He was a very good wide receiver for the Gloucester Lions.
So out of the timeout, Eagles are looking to get back on the scoreboard here. Got to figure, Schulze, if Marley Sire can get going here, that's who you need that offensive production from. Take some of the pressure off of Latanya Barry.
Yeah, and like we said, you're going to alternate her from high post to low post, and when she gets the ball in the high post, she'll draw people her way, and that'll leave Latanya Barry with maybe only one defender.
Well, floater down the lane by McDonald, right on cue. We just showed a picture of her father up on the screen, and that'll make Dad proud. Nice ball fake. Baseline jumper, short. Berry with the offensive rebound. Another offensive rebound for Sterling. Johnson corrals a loose ball.
Tatiana Johnson gets it back out. Johnson to Johnson. They restart the offense, and this is where Sterling wants to get better, executing her half-court setting offense. As they look at them collapsing down on Berry, or I'm sorry, Marley Sire, and she's able to go against a couple of defenders and make it count.
One of the best starts we've seen her have in quite some time. McDonald working against Jasmine Johnson. McDonald thought about the shot, passes off to McGee. McGee as a foul as Liza Laxton goes up to take the shot, and will be Sterling's second team foul. Foul goes against Marley Sire, her first.
And we saw Marley Sire on the replay right there, battling through. Looked like 3 defenders crashed down on her, and that was just really a situation where she just out-muscled everybody and got the ball up, and that's definitely the definition of a basket in traffic.
The senior knocks down the first of 2 free throw attempts. Only averaging 5 a game, more than halfway to her per game total right now at 3. Leaves a second short, rebound to LaTanya Berry. 8-7. Sterling with the early lead. Holloway out of control, and they're going to call a blocking foul.
So she drew the foul.
Yeah, feet were still moving.
And Rob, you know what? We're talking about Sterling's been kind of has not been playing well at all. Even though it's an 8-7 game, I feel like in this game they're definitely playing better.
Berry with the putback.
And we're constantly seeing the impact that LaTanya Berry and Marley Sire have down in the low post. And again, I think that's what Sterling needed.
Maybe my old eyes are deceiving me, but I'm pretty sure that that shot from Jasmine Johnson may have hit the stanchion and came back down and right into the hands of LaTanya Berry.
I thought it hit the side of the backboard. But then again, two sets of old eyes.
Well, if we have 2 sets of old eyes, doesn't it equal 1 set of good eyes?
Exactly, yeah.
You would think.
In our humble opinion.
Berry,
wow.
Count the basket. Now they're going to call travel.
Oh. Yeah. Travel, but you could see, again, you continue to see Sterling having the dominance down on the low post. Obviously, you had the traveling there, but West Deptford just has no answer.
Holloway one-on-one, yes. First bucket for Nia Holloway, Sterling out to a 12-9 lead. 6 from Sire, 4 from Berry, and then that last 2 from Holloway.
It feels like Sterling should be up by like 6 or 8 right now. And I feel like if they play the way they're playing, that's going to happen.
Well, it's a 12-5 run right now for Sterling after coming out of the introductions down 0-4. As we approach 80 seconds left to go in the first.
Yeah, they've really been dominating the last probably 4 minutes of this half, or this quarter, rather.
Sire, turnaround jumper, too strong. Almost got the friendly hometown bounce. Rebound to McConnell.
And that's one of the few times she had Berry with 1 defender on her, didn't pass it to her. When the few times she's missed her, elected to go with the shot.
Long 3 by Laxton, no good. And it will stay Sterling basketball, 53.5 seconds remaining. As Sterling going to make a pair of substitutions. Raina Pelkak, as well as Tori Wills, going to check in and take a look at Jasmine Johnson rocking the 24 jersey tonight. As I'm sure there's a lot of teams around South Jersey and around the world. So a lot of Kobe jerseys in school today, whether it's 8 or 24, as Berry chimes in to get another bucket.
And I can't believe how open they left LaTanya Berry down in the low post.
Shout out to West Deptford tennis coach Mike Seeley checking us out on YouTube.
All right.
So we have the
live broadcast out there, YouTube land.
We have the West Deptford Eagle contingency. Another block by Sire, under 15 to play in the first.
Yeah, block, and I also felt like she had a few steps as you look at the pass down low to LaTanya Berry. They just lost track of her. How that could happen.
West Deptford finally breaks the drought from McGee, and it's 14-11, 5 seconds left to go, and Sterling throws it away.
And that's what you want to avoid, but in fairness to Sterling, one of the few times in this quarter that they've had an unforced turnover.
1 second. McDonald can't get the shot away. Would have been tough either way with 2.8 remaining, but nonetheless, Sterling going to take a 3-point lead into this second quarter. Like I think you hit the nail right on the head there, Schulze, in that feels like Sterling should be up 6 to 8 points. I agree with you 100% on that.
And again, obviously, getting down by starting out being down 4-0, that had a little bit to do with it. But their advantage is down in the low post, no question about it. And you can get all the highlights on YouTube if you go to Channel 19, www.youtube.com/SterlingTV19. As we look at our cheerleaders.
Coach Marchese barking out instructions here for this second quarter. Started off a little cold. 2011 graduate, now turned head coach, took the reins over from Kate McDonald several years ago, has done an outstanding job keeping the tradition going.
Absolutely.
With this girls basketball squad and with the assistance of her dad's on staff. That's got to be what a great dynamic, a little father-daughter dynamic. But you know, Kylie O'Donnell Marchese went on and played her collegiate ball, College of New Jersey, a little D3 NJAC action going on there. Had an outstanding career with the Lions. And Berry with another steal. That was a telegraphed pass. They were looking for McGee down low, but that was read all the way by Berry.
I don't think you can underestimate how quickly Berry moves defensively down in the low post, and you saw it right there.
Pelkak, Holloway, Wilsey, Sire, and Berry on the floor for the Lady Knights. Holloway, nice look down low for Berry.
Wow. And good ball movement around the outside there, and that, a couple ball fakes.
Out of control shot. And an easy lay-in for Raina Pelkak. Her first bucket of the game. Slip and a fall, almost could have been a travel there. West Deptford fortunate to be able to hang on to this. 3 on the way for McDonald. Banks it in. I don't know if she called glass or not. Nonetheless, she'll take the 3.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they're within. Obviously, you had that one. You've had a few running one-handers that found their way into the basket. But, we continue to say this seems like it should be an 8 to 10 point lead by Sterling as opposed to a 4-point lead. But Sterling's just got to remain patient, not force anything, run their half-court sets.
Foul down low. Gonna go against Cecilia Rossi. Olivia McGee. And that's McGee's second. Team's second, so we'll see if Mark Petito decides to go to the bench. 4-point lead for Sterling. 6:20 remaining here in the half. Glad you joined us here on Channel 19. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz in this second round of the South Jersey Coaches Invitational. Fortunate enough to get a home game in this one. Good look, but a travel before McDonald took one too many steps, was trying to find Rossi.
Yeah, and had Rossi, the defense went over to McDonald on the drive and completely left Rossi alone, but obviously you had to travel.
And it's going to be a timeout on the floor. Full timeout, Sterling, with 6:08 remaining in the half.
Yeah, there you see the Lady Knights over there. And
oh, check this out. We're on Instagram now. Channel 19 on Instagram. Check us out at Sterling TV 19. Post plenty of pictures from games and warm-ups, post-game interviews, all sorts of great stuff. Follow us on Instagram at Sterling TV 19. Maybe he's doing that right now. Never know.
Could be.
Maybe he heard us.
Yeah.
Sterling also in action tomorrow night on the mats. The wrestling team will be home tomorrow night right here on Channel 19. Also, girls basketball back here in action on Thursday as well. Have that for you as well on Channel 19. So out of the timeout, Sterling, Marley Sire, her 6 points. They're going to call an offensive foul on Marley Sire. I thought it was a good, strong move. But
yeah, I thought so too. Boy, let's look at this on the replay. Went one way, went the other way, moved the body, but moved the, yeah, when you extend the elbow. But in any event, a good thought, you know, of a move, and another example of how they're able to have their way down in the low post. Just get the,
and that's, you know what, that's a good call by the official. We couldn't see it. Anybody on our side couldn't see it.
Right.
Official positioned perfectly there. Got a chance to see the elbow, which 90% of the crowd did not see. You didn't see much argument from the Sterling bench either. Nonetheless, still a 4-point game. Johnson can't get it to fall. Rebound to Carino. Carino pushing 1-on-2 and blocked by Barry again. Return to sender right into the hands of Tori Wilsey.
Yeah, the second time we've seen Latanya Barry's impact down that low post on a block.
Shot there, Raina Pelkak.
Hitting from the outside, and that's something Sterling sorely needs right now is
Rossi, her first bucket.
Some outside shooting. I mean, obviously you want to feed the ball down to the low post, but if you can even, especially down the road when you get to some better teams, bring the defenders out.
Johnson turns it over to Carino. Carino count the basket and the foul.
There you see Pelkat's shot right there.
That's the second on Jasmine Johnson, team's fourth. So two Sterling players in foul trouble, and Johnson and Sire. That'll send Carino to the line to make it, try and make it a 1-point game.
Wow.
And she does. Sterling going with the press. And a foul on Carino.
You see Carino had the leg, the feet moving, and obviously you're going to get charged with the foul every time in that situation.
Carino coming into the game averages just 4 points a game.
Sterling's got to be more patient or half-court set. I felt like they've been, they need to pass, move the ball around, and just wait for an opportunity to get the ball down low.
Johnson ball fake, but dragged the pivot foot before she did. And West Deptford a chance to take a lead first since it was 4-0 back in the first.
And when they've moved the ball around the outside, had an occasional ball fake.
Johnson on the steal, yes.
Trying to turn things around by good perimeter defense.
Stop, pop, and a miss by Rossi. Sterling comes away with the loose ball, under 4 to play in the half, and a 3-point lead for the Lady Knights. Sterling saw this West Deptford team just about 2 or 3 weeks ago as Wilsey puts up an errant 3. And it was a close game.
Yeah,
a 9-point game, 8-9-point game.
Yeah.
So Barry with another block. McDonald turns it over.
And that's just real good position defensively by Latanya Barry. Stayed her ground and has such a long body there. And again, you're constantly seeing down in the low post, both on the offensive end and defensive ends, where Sterling have a decided advantage.
Freshman Brianna Red checks into the game for Sterling. First time I think we've called her name all season. Sire, too strong. Pelkak with the offensive rebound and put back. Raina Pelkak, 6 points, all coming in the second quarter.
Well, putting herself in that spot where most of those shots, if they're not going to make it, they go long.
And a foul before the shot as Rossi went to the hoop. I don't think her teammates realized how open she was. And now some discussion.
Technical foul.
The technical foul. And I think they're going to call a technical here. Because apparently they yelled at watch Sire there, yells at the Cecilia Rossi, and that is a technical foul. And for Sire, that is her third. Team's fifth.
Next time, put her on the floor.
And they're going to call an unsportsmanlike technical foul because she yelled at the other girl. So the ref stepped in and made the call right away. And that's what he was making the call about.
And now Mark Petito is all the way out at center of the court. And I think there's some confusion here. Both coaches with their arms up in the air trying to figure out what's going on here. And Coach Petito's hot here. McDonald now at the line to shoot one. And she hits the other. And now Petito calling for an answer. We're trying to figure out what's going on here as well. 4-point game, and you can see the discussion going on.
A lot of things going on back and forth, and the girls right now, it's funny,
take one more look at it here. You can see Sire barking at Rossi as she went to the hoop. I don't think I've ever seen that called before in my life. Losing the handle there was Carino, and here comes Sterling back the other way. Pelkak.
Yeah, good move by Pelkak, slowing it down. And they've just...
And Red dragged the pivot foot.
And that's just a nervous freshman coming into a game. Doesn't get in a whole lot. And Rob, they continue to say that Sterling, her offensive end, was moving the ball around pretty good, but the last couple minutes have been forcing some shots, and they don't have the same ball movement around the perimeter.
Pelkak with the steal, trying to find Yaruso down low. I'll tell you what, Raina Pelkak off the bench has really provided a nice little spark for Sterling.
Yeah, she's doing a real good job.
Without her 6 points, Sterling would be trailing in this contest. Sire, strong move down low, leaves it short. Rebound to who else but Raina Pelkak. Red for three, well short. Rebound to Yaruso.
Red's just got to settle in, obviously, you said.
McDonald on the drive, leaves that short. Rebound to Caruso. Now Flynn, who's checked into the game for the Eagles. Helter-skelter here in the last 90 seconds or so. Nice drive, leaves that short. Another offensive rebound for West Deptford. Finally, Sterling corrals it with under a bucket and a quarter remaining.
There we go. That's a good pass down a low post, but you're going to, yeah, that's a walk. And Barry and Holloway come back in the game.
.65 seconds remaining here in what has been a very interesting second quarter here from Sterling. McDonald, drive, working against Barry. She loses control, goes off of Barry, out of play. Stays West Deptford basketball.
And a good job by Barry just letting that play carry out, seeing McDonald's a little bit off balance right there. And that's a situation where you worry about Barry possibly getting too aggressive, getting charged with the foul, but great defensive position by Latanya Barry.
45 seconds remaining in the second. Flynn, foul line jumper, no good. Rebound to Marley Sire, playing with 3 fouls here in this first half. What do you call here if you're Sterling, under 30 to go?
Well, you call for the last shot, but you need good ball movement around the outside, and there you have it with. And it's obviously it's an advantage now with Barry back in the game, and you see her just put the body on Rossi down low, turn, and get herself to the free throw line. But that was the first half-court trip where there were more than probably just a couple passes around the outside, and they were able to get Barry open down in the low post, or at least in a one-on-one situation.
First free throw attempt of the night for Sterling is good. Latanya Barry only a 54% free throw shooter. You see that points per game has dipped just a little bit. Was up around 18 earlier in the season as she knocks them both down, and she has 10. 22 seconds left to go in the half. Sterling with a 6-point lead. Flynn. McDonald. Job by Johnson on the defense. 10 seconds to go. Barry says no again. And here comes Sterling in transition as we end the first half. And that's how Sterling's going to go into the locker room. Point 3. Can't do anything with that. So Sterling's going to take a 6-point lead into the half, as we're going to take one more look at this block by Latanya Barry, as she's done her entire career.
I don't think she jumped. I think she just stood still, blocked it with maybe her one foot was off the ground, but the other foot was on the ground.
It's like a volleyball spike.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Sterling going to take a 6-point edge in the locker room. We'll get off to a quick break, assess this first half, get ready for the second half. 26-20 Sterling. We're back right after this. Sterling leading the West Deptford Eagles 26-20. As the end of the second quarter ended rather interestingly. And you look at our leading scorers, a name that you don't see a lot on there. Raina Pelkak, 6 points.
Came off the bench and really did a nice job. Had a couple putback rebounds and putback points. Had an outside shot and did a nice job. And of course, Marley Sire doing a real good job down in the low post, as well as LaTanya Barry McDonald. On the other side, the leading scorer for West Deptford, followed by Carino and then Laxton. And then Jasmine Johnson with 2 fouls, Marley Sire with 2, McGee with 2 for West Deptford. So nobody really in any major foul trouble.
So the technical foul at the end, towards the end of that second quarter, made things a little bit interesting at about the 4-minute mark. Joined in the broadcast booth now by the leader of the Superfans, Mr. Nick Anderson.
What's going on, everybody?
He's back. He's back. Got away from the Superfans for a little bit. Come out, and you guys are making some noise over there for the girls here tonight. Good job.
Yeah. Try to come support our Lady Knights.
And they'll be back in action on Thursday as well. I'm sure you guys will show up in droves for that one. It's always a good time. You look at Marley Sire there. We're not sure if she has 3 fouls or just the 2. Because she did pick up the technical. Well, we're still trying to get some confirmation on whether or not the technical counts as a personal or if it's just a technical.
Not sure.
Sire, good move, can't get it to fall. Barry with the offensive rebound, too strong, and it will stay, we'll go give it to West Deptford.
You see Barry right there, and that's one of those ones where I think she's got to turn and just go into the defender. I've obviously not foul her, but just go use your body in that situation, which a lot of times she does.
Drive there by Carino. West Deptford looking for the foul, and so is Coach Petito. He's not going to get it. He's had a lot to talk about here in the last 4.5 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I think it seemed like after that technical situation, that's where Sterling really, they kind of got out of sync on the offensive end. And coming here in the second half and moving the ball around, and Jasmine finds Tatiana Johnson down low. Great job in the half-court set.
Russo, no good. Rebound to LaTanya Berry.
Now Sterling kind of slowly going away to the 8-point lead.
This is the 8-point lead that we were looking for earlier. And Holloway with a beautiful drive, can't finish it.
That was a great move.
Yeah, had some space there with everybody going towards Barry and Sire.
Might see that in the SAO game coming up after this, Nick. Barry off the window and in. LaTanya Barry in a timeout on the floor. Sterling opens the third quarter with 2 quick buckets and commanding buckets nonetheless.
And you look at the replay with Johnson getting the putback. Back down. Yeah, good look there from Jasmine Johnson to Tatiana Johnson.
Nick, you got a chance to see this team quite a bit. You had quite a bit of a better look than we did down there in terms of blocks. How many blocks did you have LaTanya with?
I think I had her at 5 blocks.
That's about what we were saying as well.
Wow.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Nick, you can do that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. You know what I'm saying?
You taught her everything she knows.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'd hop out there, but you know, it's almost timeouts.
Yeah, we don't want. I mean, you got an SAO game coming up next, right?
Can't get hurt. Yeah.
You can't get hurt.
Broadcasters are covered under our policy in that situation.
We wouldn't want you to be hurt for that all-important SAO game coming up at 7 o'clock.
Hey, maybe we can get some broadcasting on that SAO game, you know?
Maybe that championship game will come out for the championship contest.
I don't know how Mr.
I know that
Caleb
always
feels about
packs the gym. So West Deptford coming out of the timeout, trailing all of a sudden by 10. McDonald looking for help, and it's a foul. No, they're going to call a jump ball.
Good call. That's exactly what, that's a good call right there. Good aggressive play by Jasmine Johnson out on the perimeter.
Inbound to Yaruso. Yaruso going cross court now for Laxton, who puts up a 3. Does everything but fall. Sterling's Marley Sire comes up with the rebound, even though Holloway and Berry were battling for it.
The more and more Sterling moves the ball around the perimeter, maybe does an occasional ball fake.
Holloway, nice drive again, can't finish. Rebound to Laxton.
She's getting some nice looks. She just needs to put them in.
But when you know, one pass and then going to the basket, they need to get the defense out of position in the half-court set.
Yaruso, no good. Rebound to Berry. Jasmine Johnson rocking the Kobe. One of 2 numbers for Kobe Bryant. She's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
Johnson going against 3 defenders right here. They all collapse down on her. And she gets herself to the free throw line. Jasmine Johnson, a sophomore, a ferocious defender.
And you look at the number change you see on your screen, she's 21, but today, as many people are, and paying tribute to the late, great Kobe Bryant. And Nick, we actually did a piece in class on, we interviewed the boys basketball team as a fun little gimmick, MJ or LeBron, and we had one student say, no question, that it's Kobe. Some of your thoughts on Kobe Bryant?
Kobe obviously changed the game forever, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely, in my opinion, top 3 to ever do it. And I think it just shows how, you know, when a legend passes away, everybody mourns.
And it's one thing when some of these old legends of basketball are old and they come up with diseases or illnesses or something like that, something tragic happens. But when something like this that's sudden and coming out of nowhere happens, it takes everybody's breath away.
Yeah. And it was just crazy because LeBron just passed his scoring record the day before.
In Philadelphia.
Yep.
Where Kobe's from.
Exactly.
Which is even the irony of this whole thing.
Very ironic.
It's a shame.
And it's amazing how much that LeBron, and this was before all this happened, the night before talked about Kobe when he broke his record.
Yep.
I mean, just went on, and you could tell the impact that Kobe had on LeBron.
Now you just got to wonder who's going to, you look at the players over the years in the NBA, and obviously you've got Jordan passing the baton to arguably Kobe, and then Kobe passing the baton to LeBron. Who's LeBron going to pass it to? And just, the game has changed so much in a couple of decades, Nick. You've gotten a chance to watch a lot of it. Speaking of our next game, it's going to be wrestling tomorrow night at 6 o'clock right here on Channel 19 against the Gateway Gators. Wrestling having a phenomenal season. You can check that out on YouTube live as well. Nick, tell us a little bit about some of your favorite players. Obviously, we have a little bit of generational gap between Mr. Schulz and myself. Who's your favorites?
Right now, my dark horse is Zach LaVine. I think he plays for the Bulls. I think he's a very underrated player that's going to be nice up and coming. That's my dark horse
sleeper
in the NBA.
Pick.
Yep.
Sleeper pick. Schulze, who do your kids talk about a lot?
As far as
just like the idols of the NBA that they grew up watching.
Well, I mean, obviously LeBron, and I'm trying to blank on the guy from Milwaukee.
Giannis.
Giannis, good guy.
Jasmine Johnson creates some space. Rebound to Sire. Off the bottom of the iron, no good. And West Deptford hanging tough here at 9. Good transition. Laxton, too strong. Rebound to Wilsey.
Yeah, this game's just gotten out of control. And West Deptford's just sending everybody over on the drives to the basket. There's could be and Sterling is just not playing under control in a lot of those drives.
I agree. I think Sterling just needs to slow down, get good looks.
Yeah. Like this one from Wilsey. Couldn't get that to fall. Rebound to Sire, puts it back up and in. Marley Sire having a banner night, her first bucket since a 6-point first quarter.
And I mean, if you're better off shooting from the outside than drives into traffic, because at least with the shots, obviously you've got the rebounding advantage. But even better than that is moving the ball and getting the ball down low.
West Deptford bench screaming for a foul. LaTanya Berry, they're not going to get it as a pair of substitutions going to check in for each squad. Pelkat going to check into the game, as well as Rossi, the senior. And look at head coach Mark Petito.
Their coach received a warning, right?
I believe he did.
Yeah.
Earlier in the game, as he was out to center court. 3 on the way by Rossi. Flynn is no good, but a foul underneath. They're going to call that foul on Johnson, and that's her third. Team's first.
See down low, Johnson. Yeah, you had a slap right there.
Check that, team's second. Another foul.
And this one, I believe, is going to be on Barry.
And they got Berry for the foul. That's just her first. Team's third.
But we'll give her a break since she's had about 8 blocks so far, unofficially.
Olivia McKee's first trip to the free throw line is true, and she has 5 points this evening.
And other than that play, the other thing we talk about is LaTanya Berry does a nice job putting herself in good defensive position down on the low post.
McKee, the only one to score for the Lady Eagles in this second half. She has 4 and 6 overall. We tick down to the 3-minute mark here. Sterling and West Deptford in the second round of the South Jersey Coaches Invitational. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, and Nick Anderson. Jacinia Johnson given some room, can't convert. Sterling another chance at an offensive rebound. They can't come away with it. And a whistle and a foul. Marley Sire's got a smile on her face, and
there's
I
that
think
trap.
that's going to be, nope, it's going to be on Berry.
On the outside. You're getting a good laugh out there.
Second foul on LaTanya Berry.
But they'll do that occasional trap on the wing. And a lot of times it's going to work. It's going to force a turnover. Obviously not on that one. They got called for the foul, but yeah, some good effort to get the team out of sync on the offensive end.
McDonald, who's been quiet in this third, hands it to McKee, who has it deflected away out of bounds.
Well, they collapsed down on McDonald. Good job by Nia Holloway defending away from the ball.
Traveling violation. Seen a lot of those tonight from both teams.
Yeah, got to put the ball on the floor right away.
Going for the deep ball, trying to find Wilsey. Wilsey, a 3-sport athlete's going to track that one down.
Looks like a wide receiver.
Soccer in the fall, obviously basketball here in the winter, and then I believe she plays lacrosse in the spring.
And they're all collapsed down right now, so that's what teams are going to do, just collapse down in the low post.
Pelkat, Berry with the rebound, and she's fouled, she'll go to the line.
And that's what we said, you know, ultimately, obviously you want to feed the low post, but ultimately as they move on, you know, you're going to have teams that just collapse down the low post. You've got to hit your outside shots.
Last foul was on Erica McDonald. That's her first. And Sterling going to take a full timeout here with 2:02 remaining. Take a listen to Sterling Knights Radio, the best Sterling news, sporting events, best music from 60s to today. Sterling Radio going to go undergo a facelift. Follow us on Twitter at Knights Radio. That's going to happen once the semester changes hands here in the next 48 hours or so, going to do an entire facelift. Gets some
what's
fresh
that going
material.
to involve?
Some
You're
fresh,
not allowed to get into details?
some fresh material, some fresh commercials and PSAs and drops from teachers, and so they might be knocking on your door, Mr. Schultz.
Okay. No problem. Always willing to help out.
March Mayhem of music, as always, garners a lot of listeners here at the Sterling community. 32 artists separated into 4 brackets, a la the March Madness tournament. 1 artist survives. Queen, the winner last year.
Sterling up right now by 9. Our young fans out here.
Somebody just wants to go out and run around on the court.
He wants to play.
You think you could recruit him for your SAO game there, Nick?
Might as well.
Might be a little undersized, but you never know. Maybe somebody gets into foul trouble. Might have to dip into your bench. Barry 3 for 3 from the line tonight. Sterling on the evening 4-5. Rattles the other one home. And LaTanya Berry, 14 points so far.
Yeah, and as this game moves on, I think she's going to get a lot more opportunities at the line with the way they're sending everybody down to her.
McDonald open in the corner for 3, launches it. Pelkak picks up the errant shot that just grazed the top of the backboard.
Yeah, West Deptford right now is really struggling to find anything on the offensive end.
90 seconds remaining here in the third. Johnson actually got a good pass, might have had a good look at it. Justinia Johnson tries to go off the window and in. No good. Rebound to the Eagles.
Yeah, they had some ball movement around the outside, just need some quicker ball movement around the outside.
Nice turnaround there by Olivia McGee on LaTanya Berry. 6 points in this quarter for West Deptford, all coming from Olivia McGee, the sophomore.
Just kind of threw that one up there. Sterling running their set. And they got Barry on the high post. Almost looked to drive.
Probably the most patient offensive set we've seen here by Sterling.
This is good
in this game.
This is what they need to do. Quick movement, you're going to get somebody open.
Berry, strong offensive rebound and a putback.
But that's the other thing. You know, if you don't get anybody to open down low, take the shot from the outside because you have that rebounding advantage.
15 seconds remaining here in the third. Sterling out to an 11-point edge. Baseline. Jumper no good by Rossi.
Make that number 6.
Another block without getting off her feet as you look at her dominance there on the offensive end. And then she goes down and shows her dominance on the defensive end with yet another block.
4.5 seconds remaining and a foul. Rossi was hit. She'll go to the line. Justinia Johnson picks up her first, team's 5th. Rossi hits the first. She just became the only other West Deptford Eagle to score here in this third quarter. Olivia McGee has 6 of West Deptford's 8 in this quarter. Johnson, I don't think realized how much time she had. Could have pushed it, but it would have been a desperation heave either way. But Sterling going to take a 9-point lead into the final 8 minutes. Take a look at our Sterling cheerleaders, always doing such a great job here. Saw some backflips earlier. Nick Anderson gonna go out and do some backflips of his own after this one's over.
Gotta start stretching.
Check us out on YouTube. You can see the highlights, everything right here on youtube.com/SterlingTV19.
There you see the Lady Knights as we look at our next broadcast, which is going to be tomorrow night. Wrestling going against Gateway. Like we said, and it's going to be live on YouTube. Sterling TV 19. The wrestlers having an outstanding season. That shapes up to be a pretty good match. I think that you're looking at two teams that should be pretty evenly matched. So we're hoping for an exciting one and a Sterling win, of course.
That's the most important part.
That's right.
Shout out to Coach O'Donnell and the rest of the wrestlers doing a, like you said, Schulze, off to a great start. They were 8-0 to start the season. Nick, what are you looking for here offensively if you're Sterling?
I'm looking to feed Marley and get her going again. She had a big first quarter. She's been a little quiet since, and I want to get her rolling again.
Wilsey almost has it stripped away. Sterling completely content with playing keep away here.
And this is fine. This is fine. Look to see if it's open, and if it's not, and there's a dish off right there to Sire.
Jasmine Johnson goes hard to the floor, and it will stay Sterling basketball.
That's great hustle.
Wilsey to inbound. Seven minutes left here in this fourth quarter. Nice screen. Opens the door for Holloway. Coast to coast. That was all set up by the screen by Marley Sire.
Yeah, and it did. It got the defenders out of position. Nice job of Holloway staying under control in the drive to the basket.
Basket by Rossi prompts a quick timeout.
See Holloway just getting through the defenders, coming off a screen from Sire.
That was a
right
great
there.
screen.
Went through pretty much the entire West Deptford Eagles defense right there. And then in transition, here comes West Deptford.
Yeah, this was just Sterling fell asleep.
But a couple more patient half-court sets to start this fourth quarter. And again, that's what we've been saying the entire game. You need, don't force things. You've got the lead right now. Get the defense out of position and feed the ball down the low post to Sire. And obviously Burry's out right now, but you still have the advantage with Sire down there.
Tatiana Johnson looking for Sire. Sire back out for Holloway. Steps back, hits the three. Yes, sir.
That looked like Steph Curry.
Well, that's the other thing. You get, you know, the defenders collapsing down the low post. You have the kick-out opportunities, and they had Sire kick it right back out to Holloway, and she drained it.
McDonald open at the top for three. No good. Rebound to Marley Sire. Has had herself a
She's had an outstanding game. I was just thinking
night.
the same thing. Yeah, really playing well.
Helped Sterling get off to that quick jump after the first quarter. Had 6 points in the first. I think that helped jumpstart the offense after a slow start. Sire almost comes up with another steal, and she does. Sire, offensive rebound, and the putback right on cue, Marley Sire.
Yeah, that's why in a lot of cases I'd rather see the outside shot rather than a drive to the basket through a lot of traffic, because you've got Sire down in the low post defensively, and you know, we talked all night about that's where Sterling's got the advantage in this game.
14-point lead. Sterling looking to build. Holloway pushing 3-on-3. Dish to Tatiana Johnson, stops, pops, and hits.
Sterling's in a nice little groove right now.
And Tatiana Johnson hits that short jumper probably better than anybody on the team. Doesn't need the backboard, has a nice soft touch and a good pass, good dish off from Holloway.
Under 5 minutes remaining in the fourth. Sterling out to a 16-point lead. One thing that I think, Schulze, we've seen out of this game more than really anything is the contributions from the entire team, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, and even when things weren't clicking on the offensive end, a couple forced shots on drives, the defense has been pretty consistent all night. As we look at a timeout, we're going to look at the replay here. But yeah, the defense has been outstanding. And again, contributions from everybody. And that's what they're going to need down the stretch. There's Eric McDonald, who was, I believe, obviously played for Gloucester. I'm going to say, Mr. K can correct me, 1998, general vicinity. So, Eric, if we made you a little bit older, we apologize, but we will note that you had an outstanding career for the Gloucester Lions as a receiver, and Mr. K and I covered a lot of those teams. They were a lot of fun years. Good teams to cover.
And if you want to check out some of the photos from any of our Channel 19 live events, you can check us out on Instagram at SterlingTV19 as Nick takes out his phone and follows at SterlingTV19 on Instagram. So coming out of the timeout, 4:36 remaining here in the fourth. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Nick Anderson bringing you the final 4.5 of this second round of the South Jersey Coaches Invitational. And a foul on Jasmine Johnson. That's going to be her fourth. Team sixth. Check that, team seventh. Rossi hits the first. She's 3 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. 7 points on the evening for the senior. And that's where she'll stay.
4 fouls by Jasmine Johnson, but a lot of good defensive play on the perimeter to go along with that. So, you know, if you play aggressive, it's going to happen. You're going to get your fouls.
Smart play by Nia Holloway, was trying to find some look down low. Speaking of looks down low, LaTanya Berry continues her dominance in the paint.
And they're playing a lot like they did in that last 4 minutes of the first quarter, where they had patient sets, they moved the ball around, and were able to get the defenders out of position and worked high post to low post, and West Deptford has no answer.
So we've just been told that the winner of this contest makes it to the Elite Eight of this tournament, and everything will be reseeded after this. So we'll see where Sterling falls. Should they hang on to this 17-point lead? It looks like they will.
There you see it going to the high post and down the low post. A perfect pass from Sire to Barry.
McDonald for 3. Rainbow 3 leaves that one well short of the mark. And Sire got an elbow up high on Rossi, no call. And a foul down low on Rossi. Her second, that might be a frustration foul because she didn't get the call.
Well, she's had a tough time of it going against Sire and Barry down in the low post. That's a tough task, and like you said, Rob, definitely a little bit frustrated here with 2:54 remaining. West Deptford, again, just really struggling to get anything on the offensive end. Good perimeter defense by Sterling, as you see Johnson, Tatiana Johnson on the wing, been doing a good job all night.
Nice look down low. They're going to count the basket.
Wow.
Avery Carino.
I thought this was a travel. Let's see what before. Well, no, I guess she kept the pivot foot. Okay.
Fouls on Nia Holloway, her first. Or excuse me, her second. That's the team's 8th.
But she was probably better off having Holloway foul her, because you know who she had the contest with right in front of her was LaTanya Barry, and that was probably going to be another block. Based on what we've seen, just a guess on my part.
McDonald for 3, yes. High arcing shot from Erica McDonald, her second 3 of the night.
And West Deptford just needs a lot more of that to get back in this game. Too little, too late.
Holloway could have been fouled well beyond the arc.
McDonald with the shot right here. That's a rainbow. Really got that one up high, but she drained it from the outside.
Fouls on Laxton, her second.
But obviously McDonald's the leading scorer, and you got to give credit again. I'll go back to what Sterling's doing on the perimeter defensively. It's really not allowing McDonald to get open for the outside shot, and that's one of the few times she was, and you see why she's their leading scorer. Can definitely hit the outside shot.
2 from the line for Nia Holloway. Sterling's going to dip into their bench. The starters' night is done. Sterling going to go with Leilani Franklin and a host of others. Red going to check back into the game. Pelkak into the game. And Franklin right on cue commits a foul. Maddie Klein also into the game.
Tried for the block, but definitely got too much body.
Team's 9th, so that sends Carino, the junior, back to the line. One of 3.
This is a good win, Rob. I mean, you know, based on what's been happening to this team, weren't consistent the whole way through offensively, but I felt like defensively it was a real good, consistent effort. As we look at West Deptford, who came in here 10-5. And again, our next game or match is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. You can catch it live on YouTube. Sterling going against Gateway in Colonial Conference Wrestling. You see our basketball players. Anton Fields, a guy who's having a great year. And the Colonial Liberty standings, Haddonfield, the top of the division, followed by Sterling, West Deptford, Haddon Heights, Collingswood, and Audubon at 0-5 in the division.
You look how important this game was for Sterling in the conference, or in the division rather. You know, it's a swing game, and it was big for Sterling to come out and, you know, stamp their mark and take care of business here in the division.
And Rob, you saw the surprise on in the other division, Woodburn out to an 11-3 record.
That's
really
impressive.
Playing outstanding, a team that traditionally, you know, it's very good in boys basketball, but not so much in girls basketball, but they're having a great year.
Out of the timeout, one more on the way from Carino is good. Go with the press here, down 13 with 2:07 remaining. Starters are out for Sterling. Trying to get some of these younger players into the game as Laxton commits a foul, her third.
And Rob, on the offense, you know, I said, I don't think they were consistent all night in the offensive end, but the important thing is we saw some good things in their half-court sets. They were able to get the ball down low to Sire and Barry. Just probably needed to see that on more of a consistent basis, but at least you saw it, and I think you have something to build on and move forward from right now, as opposed to, you know, when they were in that little 4-game slump.
Another long 3, high arcing shot from McDonald. I don't think I've ever seen 3s go up at that that angle.
Yeah. The rainbow, that was
90 seconds to go until the post-game show of our players of the game. Probably Coach Marchese on as well. McDonald against Klein, yes.
Good job getting the ball down to McDonald, who's really had to fight for anything she's been getting in this game, and that's going to happen when you're the leading scorer. They're going to know about you, and they're going to send defenders your way.
13 points for Erica McDonald, the junior. And it'll come in a losing effort. Sterling going to take a timeout here with 61 seconds remaining. But Sterling will move on to the, I guess, the Elite Eight, for lack of a better term, in the coaches tournament, where they will reseed. Will Sterling have a home game? We don't know. I guess we'll find out once all the second round games have concluded.
Again, good to see Barry and Sire back in the lineup. Nick, what do you, how do you feel about this game with what Sterling's been able to do?
I think they played great. This is definitely one of their best performances of the year, I think. I think defensively they played amazing.
Absolutely.
Offensively,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? They showed signs that they can play amazingly.
Player highlighted on your screen right there, number 14, Raina Pelkak, had a great lift for Sterling off the bench. And when you're getting...
When they needed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're getting 6 points out of Marley Sire, who normally you don't get a lot of offense out of Marley Sire. You get 6 in after the first quarter, and then you bring Pelkak in, who also had 6 in that second quarter. You put those two together, that takes, like I said earlier, a lot of the pressure off of LaTanya Berry, who everybody's keying on.
Yeah, no question about it. And you know, they go high, low. Sire and Barry really played well off each other in periods in this game.
Red open for 3, leaves it short. Rebound will stay here. Red to inbound. Jacinia Johnson, long 2, no good. And Franklin commits the foul. A loose ball foul against Leilani Franklin, her second. And that will be a double bonus situation here for the Eagles, as Sterling's now over the limit. But 44.5 seconds remaining in an 11-point lead. McGee to the line. First miss from the free throw line tonight. Strong night from McGee. 8 points from the sophomore after only averaging 2 a game.
It'll be interesting to see if Sterling, with this win, going against a good, solid West Deptford team, is a springboard for a final stretch here in February, because this is when you want to be playing your best basketball.
Every team hits hiccups
throughout
the course of the season. Sterling just happened to pick up their hiccup right here. Red for 3, no good. But it's how you respond from those speed bumps down the stretch, as Klein is charged with the foul.
Yeah, to me, that kind of, in a way, it, you know, adversity throughout a season tells coaches how you're going to handle adversity maybe when you get into a playoff situation. So, like you said, Rob, it's all part of a long season. You're going to have your ups and downs, and they played a couple of very good teams, too, in that stretch, that 4-game stretch.
I think you mentioned a great word there, Schulze, in adversity. And you know, there's no such thing as, whether it's work or life in general, you know, no adversity. It's an adversity-free environment. That just doesn't happen.
It's not, no. Well, that's why you always say sports are such a good learning tool for life, because you know, a lot of times you're out there on your own, making mistakes, and you just got to put it behind you, go to the next game, the next shot, the next at-bat, baseball, or whatever sport you're talking about.
Or next SAO game for Nick in about 24 seconds.
You know what I'm saying?
So Sterling going to win this second round matchup with the Eagles. And they will have one more meeting with them, I believe, because they have to face them one more time. It's an in-conference opponent. Klein for three, no good. 2 seconds remaining, and strong, gritty effort by West Deptford, but the Sterling defense comes through, and they will win this one 50-41. Strong night from some of the unsung heroes on this team, not just LaTanya Berry, but more notably Marley Sire and Raina Pelkak. We'll get off to a quick break, come back. Our players of the game and post-game interviews right after this.
Sorry, I missed it.
It's okay. You can check out all the highlights on Sterling TV 19's YouTube channel.
Oh, wow, really? All right, I'll check it out then.
Bye.
911, what's your emergency?
And we're here for our post-game interview with our stars of the game after Sterling came up with a much-needed win. Nia, was it kind of a relief to get this win with the way you guys have gone through a tough stretch?
Yeah, definitely, because the last few games we were having like a lot of turnovers, and by halftime we had 12 turnovers. But today, like, we turned it around and we only had 4 turnovers by halftime, and then we knew that we were gonna win, not necessarily, kinda, because we started having less turnovers and playing better on offense, but like defensively we just need to get that together.
It's not the turning the ball over start with having some patient half-court sets and moving the ball around. Talk about how you guys were able to do that.
Sometimes when I see like we're like starting to like go out all over the place, I like try and calm it down. I'm just like, or I'll just be like, calm down, put it together. Let's
like a junior leader should.
Yeah, definitely.
A junior, but a leader. But because of the fact you started since your freshman year, you take a leadership role.
Yeah.
You do a good job. Nia, thanks for coming on with us, and great job.
Thank you.
And Raina Pelkat, we always talk about when you come in a game, and I think even last year too, as a freshman, you seem to have an impact. Are you nervous when you come in a game?
I was last year, but now I'm more comfortable. Like I'm not as like nervous when I go in. I like calm down more, and I just know like what to do.
And you have instant impact, either whether it's a steal or a basket, and the team kind of went through stretches where they needed some offense. Walk us through your outside shot. Remember your outside shot? Yeah. Walk us through that play.
Well, the girl came up on me, and I kind of like pump faked her and went to the side, and like she went the other way, so I took the shot. And yeah, I haven't made it like a outside shot yet this year, so that was exciting.
But your team hasn't really shot well from the outside. But let me ask you this, and I'll add on to the outside shooting. Do you feel confident taking an outside shot, knowing that Marley and LaTanya are down low to get a rebound?
Yeah, I feel confident taking them, like more than I was last year. Last year I was too scared to take them outside, but this year I will.
Well, Raina, you did a great job, and keep up the good work, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, good job. And we're gonna go back to Rob right now.
Thank you very much, Schulze, and that is going to do it for this one as Sterling wins this one 50-41, and they move on to the Elite Eight of the South Jersey Coaches Invitational. The teams that they will be facing, TBD, they are going to reshuffle the deck, and we'll find out in the coming days who Sterling will play next. Don't forget, wrestling coverage tomorrow night right here on Sterling TV 19s. Gateway Gators coming into town. We'll have that for you at 6 o'clock. You can check us out on YouTube Live at Sterling TV 19. For Nick Anderson, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski, the entire Channel 19 crew, I'm Rob Strauss. We'll see you next time right here on Channel 19. Good night.